Fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move. So when we said that the revolution will not be televised, we were saying that that the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film.
I have said it a million times, and I will say it a million more. This world we live in is backwards. Extremely so. I mean, what can you really trust? For your entire life, you have been told that society is a certain way, and then in the future you hear opposing and contradicting views become mainstream. And there are three types of people that react to this new information. The first person is the stubborn old dog archetype, where they know what they know and will not even consider an opposing thought, no matter how much logic someone may use. The second type is the floating archetype, where they have no sound foundation at all and just go with what society tells them to go with. And the third is me, and hopefully you as well, where we question every viewpoint regardless of how alike or unalike it is from our current belief system. And while I am the third person, there is no better between the three. There are advantages and disadvantages to everything, depending on the lens you choose to uphold. You see, as you get further in the discovery of philosophy and spirituality, you come to realize that there is little to no fact in this world. And even the facts are distorted to push certain agendas into the world. The scientific definition of a fact is an observation that has been repeatedly confirmed, and for all practical purposes is accepted as true. But here's the funny thing about this. How many times did they actually test something until they gave it the thumbs up of approval? Sometimes when someone wants to emphasize the truth, they'll say something like the outcome would be the same 100 times out of 100. But 100 times is not enough. Take for example this video of NBA player Steph Curry shooting from the right corner on the basketball court. In this video, he went on to go 105 out of 106 from that spot, with all his makes being consecutive. So at one point, he was actually 100 for 100, but he still missed afterwards. While this may be nitpicky, I'm showing how there are always outliers, and that there are way more flaws in our logic than we believe. So if we live by these old paradigms, we can die by them too. Science and math all have their place in this world, but as we know, the world has a tendency to transcend them. Emotions have the ability to override and corrupt our logic, because our essence is rooted in that. There's an author that explains this pretty well. His name is Dr. David R. Hawkins, and I have mentioned him previously on this channel. He is the creator of the map of consciousness. This map charts the consciousness level of people and things on a scale of 1 to 1,000, with 1,000 being the pinnacle of enlightenment. On his chart, science calibrates at 400, which is the level of reason, while love calibrates at the level of 500. For someone in the 400s, he states, and I quote, "At this level, it is easy to lose sight of the forest for the trees, to become infatuated with concepts, ideas, knowledge, and theories, and to end up missing the essential point. The temptation is to identify oneself as mind, and intellectualizing becomes an end in itself. To know about a thing is not the same as to be it." Quote end. So knowing this observation, we can recognize why so many people who are very intelligent seemingly struggle with other elements in their life. Most people who are considered intelligent usually lack confidence or belief in themselves, opposed to the ignorant acquaintances. Why? Because it logically does not make sense. To believe in something that has no evidence to support it is delusional. But when are you actually told to do this? When you're told to believe in yourself. Logic goes out the window when it comes to the human psyche, because like David Hawkins said, To know about a thing is not the same as to be it. The awareness of information doesn't guarantee the application of it. Models are told that they are beautiful every day, but their own self-examination can make those compliments fall on deaf ears. These compliments from others don't work because the love that they lack from themselves doesn't radiate from their mind, but from their heart. They don't identify with those comments because they don't feel it to be true. Love always overrides reason. Like I gave the example for a model, we can say the same thing for the quote-unquote unattractive. Whenever you see a couple where the male partner is not considerably attractive in comparison to their female partner, you will usually find men and women who complain and question their existence as a couple. But this is precisely what I am explaining. If you use reason to understand why they are a couple, you may find little to no explanations because relationships are not based in logic. At least for most of them. They are rooted in love. So if you want to understand why they are together, look from the lens of love, not reason. Think in terms of how he makes her feel, opposed to what he may do, or how much he has in his pocket. Love, literally, figuratively, and metaphysically speaking, transcend reason. Because why do you need a reason to love yourself? Why do you need a reason to be confident? Why do you need a reason to believe in yourself? Asking that person out, starting that business, making that investment are all a risk. Statistically speaking, you are more likely to fail than to succeed at these things. So why do people still do it? Because you'll never know if you don't try. Why can't you be a part of the winner's circle? I mean, someone has to be. You always have a chance in every so-called risk you take. So why not think in your favor? This is not an attempt to dismiss logic and reason entirely. It is actually very essential in life to have a good sense of the two. It's one of the main things that distinguish us from animals. But what I'm saying is your overthinking, overanalysis, and weighing a probability is what is keeping you stagnant. You're relying too much on your intellect. You are too smart for your own good. The most successful people in this world move from creativity, passion, intuition, and purpose. Yes, they may look at trends and see what's hot and in demand, but those who stay on top of their games keep evolving by letting their emotional side flow through. They don't stay the same or try to play it safe, because taking leaps of faith is how they became successful to begin with. And I get it, it can be scary to attempt these kind of things, especially when you know that the odds are against you. But this is why you need to transcend it. This is the point in the video where things start to take a more spiritual based approach. Because if there was ever a time to believe in a higher power, this would be it. Like I stated previously about the map of consciousness, love calibrates higher than reason. There is a literal cap on what you can understand or perceive when you use reasoning and logic. This is why so many scientists are atheists or agnostic in comparison to the general public. Now, like I said, it's not about one being better than the other, but you can see how people who have a certain frame of mind choose to have certain beliefs opposed to the other. These people who fall into the calibration of 400s, into the level of reason, they fall into Dr. David Hawkins' depiction of the trap of calibrating in those levels, where they fall in love with their field of study so much that their ability to perceive outside of it becomes neutralized. This is why I say again, you're too smart for your own good. You have overused the intellectual side of your brain to the point of neglect for the emotional side. You forgot that you weren't born logical, and it was your second form of deduction and reasoning. Our emotions are what drive us and keep us going, and if we try to understand them from the wrong frame of mind, we will never create solutions. And like I said, this is not an attempt to dismiss of its importance, but what it is a reminder that some of the most important decisions you'll make in your life won't logically make sense. And that is okay, because some things are not decided through logic or reason, but through feeling and intuition. Don't let the world tell you what is true for them is what is true for you. You always have the ability to beat the odds every single time, because you always have a chance as long as you believe in yourself. Peace.